All right, here he is.
All right, let him in. Is he there? Hey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
Dude, you have the best voice. It's like
thanks. I thought you have the best voice, so that is wild coming from you.
No. Talk to me about how you write.
I think that it's a dual process. Most of it is from experience. So I go out into the world and I try to have lots of conversations with people, both interesting conversations and very uninteresting. It just is like, I think that giving everyone a moment of your time is one of the things that like cannot be understated how important it is. There are interactions that are just transactional where maybe, and don't get me wrong, my Uber rating is not very high. I think a lot of drivers don't want to talk to me. But I at least try to give people the option of like, if you're here and you need someone to talk to, even if for just 10 minutes, I'm here. I'll ask you a question or I'll give you a sense of who I am or something. And don't get me wrong, like I said, not always welcome. Sometimes people do not enjoy that. I can be a lot, but I find that from those experiences and then from sitting down, reading or trying to write, I think it was like Colin Quinn that said, and maybe, I don't know if this is his exact quote, but I thought I heard him say it, is a fool is a writer who writes more than he reads. And so it's like, all right, I need to read a lot if I want to write a lot. And I need to have these conversations with people, because having conversations outside of comedy is my version of like reading and writing. It's like, I need to have conversations with people to converse with people in a comedic setting and know how to do that in a way that doesn't require lots of trial and error. And so those are the two main ways. I do sit down and think about how I feel about things, but I also make a point to have conversations, because some of those conversations have led to jokes that I never would have got otherwise, and then just going out and having experiences. Like I started doing this newer joke, which, just to quickly paraphrase it and not do it justice at all and potentially bomb on your show, I have this joke about how I'm nervous to have kids in New York City, because New York City is an insane place. It's nasty. It's like it's wild. And don't get me wrong, I can put up with it, and everyone that I meet can put up with it, because we moved here because we have a dream. It's a very different thing to just bring a kid into it. And the best example I can give is I was on the train, and there was a guy who, sitting across from me on the train, was crazy, right? And like, I know you're not supposed to just say crazy, like, but I personally, this is my thing.
You didn't have time to diagnose him.
I personally feel like political correctness works in proximity to the problem. If my man had not been there and I was watching him on TV, I'd be like, that is a person having an episode. But because he is 4 feet from me, he being crazy. And he being crazy right now. And he's having a very passionate conversation with somebody that only he can see, that is lower to the ground, like clearly a gremlin or something. And he is losing it. Then a guy... The train doors open, and you've been to New York, obviously, lived in New York and everything. The train doors open, but not the train doors that are supposed to open. You know which doors I'm talking about. The doors that are never supposed to open.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
The doors that you only open in case of emergency. Those open, and a dude comes out, and I will, out of respect, use the politically correct term for him. This man was fucking crazy. This man could not have been crazier. he was big. He was big, wild, and he had on no shirt, no socks, no shoes, just pants with the fly open. And the only reason that these pants were not falling to the ground is because he had a big booty and a big penis. Like, these pants are hanging on for dear life. And he was so crazy that the crazy guy stopped being crazy. So that guy was having his argument with the gremlin and then saw the naked guy and was like, no. And then started commiserating with us about, like, don't y'all see how crazy? And it's like, this is how we felt about you. This is wild. It's also why I don't feel bad calling him crazy, because clearly he can snap out of it. And so then the reason I'm nervous to have kids in New York isn't the crazy guy. It's not even the fucking crazy guy. It's the fact that while all this was happening, there was a kid on the train. And that kid barely reacted. Like, you should only be that calm unless you've seen combat. Like, that's wild that an 8-year-old was like, I don't know, it's just life,
that's just New York.
Yeah.
It's just another day in the city.
It's like, it's more scarring to me that he wasn't scarred.
Oh my God. I have kids. I promise you, that kid went home and told somebody the story, like, and then this, he obviously wouldn't tell it the way you told it, but he's like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and he'll tell it like 3 or 4 more times over 3 months, and that's how they'll realize, oh, it's stuck in there in his craw. Like, he didn't forget that moment. Like,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
he may not know how to register on his face, but he's like, something weird happened on the train today.
Yeah, I haven't been alive very long, but I know that's not supposed to happen.
That was outside of the Matrix. Do you have jokes that you love that you can tell?
Like jokes. Oh, okay. All right. Let me see. This is so. I'm a big fan of hyperbole, okay. and I find that, like, sometimes hyperbole gets right to the root of the issue quicker than being reasonable.
Okay.
I feel like sometimes reasonable people just, I don't know, they bore you. It's like, Joe Biden's reasonable. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I got you. But I started doing this joke actually just a couple weeks ago about how, like, sometimes when you have trauma, everyone thinks you're going to take that trauma as traumatic, but sometimes it's just funny because you were doing the best you could. So it's like, that's it. And I don't know, when I was 9, we didn't have a lot of money. So when I was 9, they just did tell me I turned 10. They were just waiting until they got the money together. You know, I was like, everybody else turned 10. They're like, baby, everybody go at their own pace. And then I was 9 for a year and a half because I was like, all right, let's get these numbers up though. Like, what do I need? Am I eating my greens? Or it's like, eat some more greens. I don't know what to tell you. You know, but yeah, you got to hold off that birthday party till you can afford it.
And put your birthday party on layaway. That's funny. I used to go to kids I knew, little kids, when they were like 10, 11 months in, and be like, shouldn't you have already had your birthday? I think your parents are lying to you. Didn't you already turn 3? Aren't you already 4? And they're like, I know 2 things. I know what I ate for breakfast, and I know when my birthday is. Don't fuck with everything else is up for grabs, but I know what I ate and when my birthday is. I know this. I was born in July. I don't know when July is, but I know my birthday is July 18th.
Yeah, and July is coming. I know it's not July right now. I can't pronounce the one that it is, but it's not July.
Right, it's not July.
We're in February.
Last thing, what is your superpower? What is the thing that you do better than other people that has led to the success that you've had?
I would like to think that because I've spent so long alone, I think about my approach a lot, and I think about how I make people feel, and like we said before, how I come off to people. And so I think that I've been able to sort of shrink my ego. Everyone has an ego, but I've been able to like put enough of it aside to make collaboration my best tool. So for instance, like I put out this mixtape this year called Elusive that I had the idea of like, I've always wanted to write music, and so I wrote a bunch of lyrics and helped co-produce the music, and it's a music comedy hybrid. So it's like my stand-up, but for every 2 joke tracks, there's a music track. Right. And that came about because I would just hey, if you have time, which I think you do, because we're all inside, I think that this would be a great project for us. And then I think that through that collaboration and through learning how to communicate better was how I was able to make a project like that happen.